What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Movie Bits. My name is David.
And I'm Tony.
And we're happy to have you back. Today we are reviewing
Cruella.
Yes, which we love. This is our
second time watching this movie.
Yes.
Yeah. It was really good. It was just as good the second time. And you got to sweep up on a lot of the details because this is a pretty long movie. It's about 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Yeah, and it's pretty deep too. So
yeah,
let's get into it. So Disney establishes from the beginning, you know that whole opening montage with flying past the castle and the fireworks and stuff. That's completely in black and white. We do our little zoom out. We see the Disney castle, and we see in the background there's some thunder and lightning happening. So it sets the tone from the jump.
Yes.
This is not your typical Disney film. Okay.
We open with the birth of a legend.
Go ahead.
Miss Cruella De Vil. But her name is going to be
Estelle.
Yes.
Estella. Yeah, Estella.
Estella is
yes,
her name.
Estella. And we see she's born with that black and white hair.
Yeah.
So that answers the question for all of us, because I know we always wonder, is this heifer dyeing her hair black and white, or is it just naturally that way?
I thought it was a dye job.
I thought it was a dye job too, but it's apparently that's her hair color.
Yeah. So they chose to go in that direction. And I think it was a good choice because the theme is that she is an individual, brilliant, naturally, and so anyway. Go ahead.
Okay. So the mother, there's a moment, she gets older, she's a kid, they're knitting some clothes for some dolls. Cruella says that she thinks it's ugly. Her mother says that's cruel. We don't want to be a Cruella, and that's how we get that nickname Cruella. Yeah. So she promises her mother that she won't be a Cruella and that she'll keep her under wraps.
Yeah.
Sends her to school.
Yeah, sends her to school, and Cruella is a naturally rebellious child. She is an individual. She's an outsider. She doesn't fit in, but she's no one's victim. And when the bullies come for her, she comes for them and lets them know who's boss. Don't start none, won't be none is the theme with her.
Period.
But if you start it, I'm going to finish it strong.
Every time. So we also meet Miss Anita Darling. Yes, that's the same Anita Darling from the 101 animated film, 101 Dalmatians animated film.
Who's black this time?
Who's black? So we love that casting choice.
Yeah,
I mean, there's no reason why she can't be, but she is.
And this is a much smaller role because, again, this film centers around Cruella's life and what is going to be Cruella's world. Mm-hmm. So the original film really was a small, version of the whole world of the film was the world of the family and the dogs. But Cruella's world is the world of what we will see.
Exactly.
High fashion.
So Cruella, she gets expelled from school, and then she ends up with her mother and her little dog at this ball, this kind of gala event, because the mother needs to ask a friend for a favor.
For help. It's been a lot.
Help.
She was at her last, ditch effort with Cruella and her schooling, so she needs some help.
Right. So she goes, Cruella, she sneaks into the party. She ends up getting chased by some Dalmatians, her and her dog, because she's not supposed to be there.
Yeah.
The Dalmatians.
But she loves fashion so much, she just had to sneak in. She saw the pretty dresses. She recognized one of them from a catalog. She runs in there.
And she's like, this is where I belong. These are my people.
Things go down. She ends up getting chased by this woman's Dalmatians, 3 vicious dogs. They try and bite her. You can see their teeth. It's so violent. You see their intent. Horrible Dalmatians.
So as she's running,
it's flipped. Yeah. The Dalmatians are the bad guys.
They're the bad guys.
They're the bad guys in this film.
So as she's running, she trips, she falls. The Dalmatians jump over her. They run toward her mother, torpedo toward her mother, and push her off the edge of the balcony.
She was standing at the edge of a cliff, speaking to a woman who was at the gala. Mom dies. I thought it was weird.
Very extreme.
Very weird. How do we get here? This is crazy. Cruella runs away, drops a necklace her mom gave her earlier in the scene, told her was an heirloom. She meets up with
Horace and Jasper.
Now that she's a homeless child.
Those henchmen that we know from the animated film.
Yes.
They're all homeless.
Shenanigans ends up taking place.
They're all homeless and orphaned together.
Kids, shenanigans, British police, chase ensues. They end up in a warehouse. It's crazy. The dog leads them there. She's got this brilliant little dog. You've got to see it. It's pure Disney magic. The dog is everything.
Horace and Jasper have a little dog with an eye patch.
Even more Disney magic. It's incredible. She gets to their hideout. She's not supposed to be there. What are we going to do with this girl?
Let's keep her. She's a girl. She'd be a great distraction.
For all of the many
robberies we would like to do.
The scams. Horace and Jasper are scam artists. Now Cruella's with Horace and Jasper.
Right.
They're best friends.
She decides to dye her hair so she can fit in a little bit more because she's trying to keep that promise to her mother. Okay, so that was a lot.
So she's Estelle. 10 years go by.
A stealing montage.
Stealing montage ensues. Cruella's using her skills to sew all of their little costumes so they can get into hotels dressed as
designer like suits and gowns and
Everything.
dresses because they fit into high society. So people aren't feeling uncomfortable when they're there, and then they end up stealing from these people that they're around.
Wallets, jewels,
Whatever
family
you got.
heirlooms,
Sleight of
whatever
hand,
you got.
they're the best.
Don't sleight of hand. Cruella, you can't get nothing past her. She can slip, make you look here, take that. I mean, it's really incredible to see them working together. They're a family unit. They love each other.
Which is something that was a little bit different from the animated films, because in the animated films, they're just Cruella's henchmen.
That's it.
But in this movie, they're kind of like her brothers.
And so much so, in one particular scene, Jasper notices Cruella staring out the window at
House
Liberty's,
of Baroness.
At the House of Baroness
Poster.
Yes, a House of Baroness poster. So he does some shenanigans and some foolery, as is the theme with Jasper, Horace, and Cruella, and he gets her a job at
Liberty. I'm sorry.
Liberties of London.
Liberty of London.
Yes.
So we think she's all excited. I get to pursue my dreams, live in this moment, blah, 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 blah. We have this very long shot where we're going through the Liberty of London store. We're going through all these different departments, and we're expecting to, eventually run
Tour
into
the entire
Estella.
store. Yeah.
So we're expecting to run into Estella, like, I don't know, drawing something, something. And we get all the way to the back of the building, and where is she?
In the basement, the back of the basement.
Scrubbing the floors in the bathroom on her hands and knees.
More of a Cinderella.
Yeah.
Than a Cruella.
Oh.
So,
I see what you did there.
Major Cinderella theme. She's scrubbing. She's telling the store manager, hey, I saw this display you had up there. Let me rework it. I could make it look better. He's like, peon.
Absolutely not.
Did you scrub
my office
according to protocol?
And clean my office tonight.
And she's like, yes. And he's like, then that's all I want of you. Be going with you, peon.
Right.
So she keeps pressing him for an opportunity. He keeps saying no. She ends up getting locked out, spills some trash over herself, has to come through the front of the store with trash all over herself, banana on her face. She ends up eating a banana when he points it out.
Which
it was
gross.
completely gross.
He and the guy had the same reaction.
Same reaction.
You
nasty.
Just so disgusting.
It was horrible. It was nasty. So he makes her clean the office, his office, to keep her job. So the store's closed. She's been cleaning his office apparently throughout.
So she
the
ends
night.
up getting drunk. She steals some alcohol from him. She's cleaning. She goes into the display window, decides that she's going to redo it. She passes out, wakes up the next day. Someone's tapping. It's Horace tapping on the glass, like, you fell asleep in the display window. You look up. She's redesigned this dress. She's cut it up. She's added newspaper, all of that stuff.
Rock and roll
layers,
chic.
very
the whole
rock
thing
and roll.
looks fantastic.
Now the time period is the 70s, so this is very like rock and
She
roll.
gets dragged out by the pompous store manager. He's digging in her ass. He's got the security, got her yoked up. She's on the face side of her face
And
down on the glass on the display.
walks-
She's like this on the display in the glass.
And in
arm
walks
twisted up. In walks the goddamn
the
Baron.
baddest bitch of the land.
I want you to see Meryl Streep and The Devil Wears Prada. This is the energy.
But it's like 20 times worse.
Yeah, she is giving
Horrible
energy.
person.
And then we found out that Meryl Streep is a producer.
No, Glenn Close.
Glenn Close. I'm sorry, Glenn Close. But she okay, that makes sense. Still, same family. But
Yeah.
But
So,
she's giving you
she's
Meryl
terrible,
Streep.
and that's Miss Emma Thompson.
Miss Emma
killing
Thompson.
it.
Dressed to the nines every time you see her. High fashion and leaning with the confidence. She leans and struts. I mean, it reminded me of a pimp named Slickback. I mean, I just had to say.
A pimp named
Pimp
Slipback.
named Slickback.
Oh,
okay, that's the
my
whole
baby
name.
powder.
Okay, not Slickback.
Pow.
A pimp named Slickback. She was walking, strutting. It was a sight to see. It was clear. You've been in her space the entire time, and as soon as she arrived, that was the moment you found out.
Exactly. So needless to say, there's a moment when she gets out of the car. You can see that she acknowledges the display window for a hot second. Just a hot second. She doesn't give
Bam.
too much.
Bam.
She comes in. She's like,
Bam.
who's responsible for that? She's talking to the store manager. And he says
He doesn't know how to answer. He's like, look.
he's all nervous. And
She doesn't
it was
work
this
here.
girl. And she's like, so she doesn't work here? And then he says,
What? She's like, so she does work here.
so she does work here.
Whatever. She tells the assistant.
What do you-
She said to the man. She said when he finally said we fired her. She said, "You're a fool. She said, that display hasn't looked that good in 10 years. Give her my card. The assistant goes to give her the card. She's like, all yoked up. Put the card in my teeth. So she gets the card in the teeth. So he tells her, be at this address at 5 a.m. and don't be late. You're hired.
Bam.
Bam.
So now she's
We're
hired.
back.
She's now working for the House of Baroness.
Yes.
And there's a lot of interactions that go on inside of there. We'll just compartmentalize those for you.
Yeah.
But the biggest one, so everybody's giving...
Devil Wears Prada, major Meryl Streep
all of
energy.
that. Everyone's given free reign to design whatever they want and then to present it to the Baroness. And the Baroness goes through and she might fire you on the spot or she might make some adjustments. So Estella comes up with this beautiful green gown. The Baroness takes out her razor blade, starts cutting off the sleeves.
Slices off the sleeves, alters it on the spot.
And Estella
tries to block it, no, my beautiful design. She gets sliced. The Baroness could have pulled back. She sliced her ass anyway. Steps back. She's like, ow, you cut me. Baroness yokes her wrist up, holds it up. It's like, I want this dress in this color red.
Right.
So that's it. From that point on, the Baroness keeps Estella next to her. She recognizes her talent. She doesn't treat her like anything. She's like, you're a step above the rest. You have true talent, basically. Stick by me. She makes her look at books and to the point where Estelle can freely alter the Baroness's own designs, and the Baroness would be like, who told you to and then when Estelle, who told you to have an opinion about one of my creations? But when Estelle shows her what she did, she's like, it's brilliant.
Right.
I'll take it.
Right. So she becomes kind of like her muse.
Yeah.
And then eventually they have a conversation. You find out that the Baroness remembers. Go ahead.
She notices the necklace that the Baroness is wearing is the necklace her mother gave her the night of the gala, in which her mother ends up dying, the one she dropped.
So it broaches a whole conversation, and make sure you stay in the frame, babe. It broaches a whole conversation. So they start talking about the necklace, and then the Baroness explains, hey, it came from this woman. She worked for me. She stole it. She fell off a balcony. Mm-hmm. She had a daughter. Don't really care about the daughter. I think she failed the daughter by being a thief. So
she tried to shake me down. This is all her fault. She ruined my night by dying.
This was supposed to be about me, and they were just more focused on her death. So that just sets Estelle over, and she decides that she wants to steal that necklace back from the Baroness. So she decides the only person that can steal this necklace back from the Baroness is
Cruella.
So she goes to her black and white ball after meeting a man named Artie who collects gowns, designer gowns.
At a consignment shop he owns.
Right, so they're at this black and white ball. Cruella tips in with this white gown with a hood on. Yeah. She takes a glass
of champagne from the stack of champagne glasses from
makes
the wrong place.
Them all fall and break.
They all crash. They all break. All the attention is drawn to Cruella stealing the moment where the Baroness makes her grand entry and her opening toast.
She asks
to kick off.
She asks a guy for a match. She drops the match on the hooded gown, and it bursts into flames. And behind it is a red dress,
scarlet red dress. She
at a black and white ball
at the Baroness's black and white gala. A fight ensues. Her boys are all at the same time up there trying to steal the necklace from this crazy security safe and whatnot.
Right.
So she's fighting the security. She uses her sleight of hand, steals the key, tosses the key up when she's in the middle of fighting in front of everybody with no one noticing that she stole this key from this man. Craziness ensues. She has a conversation with the Baroness. Respect and shade ensues within the conversation. So much shade. Baroness ends it with now you're going to get arrested for trespassing. So Cruella ends up running out, steals a Coupe de Ville. That's the little nod we get to the Cruella Coupe de Ville when she stole the little car, but you never got the really great shot of the super Coupe de Ville, but the chase scene was cool.
And the Baroness's dogs ate the necklace on her way out.
In a commotion.
So, yes.
Estelle snatches the necklace off Cruella snatches the necklace off the Baroness. Her dog grabs the necklace. The Dalmatians, evil Dalmatians that tried to kill her 10 years ago, chase her dog. One of them gets the necklace from one of her little magical Disney puppy, swallows it. Night's a sham. Yeah, she embarrassed the Baroness. Now she's in the fashion tabloids. Everybody's talking about her. Anita Darling snaps a picture of her and starts writing all about her because Anita Darling is a reporter.
So yeah, Cruella decides that she's going to be Cruella full time. She's going to upstage the Baroness whenever she has a chance. And oh my God, the looks that Cruella brings when she's trying to embarrass the Baroness at her events. I mean, there's two really good ones. There's the one where the Baroness is inside the car and Horace and Jasper lock her inside the car.
They strap her inside the car and the Baroness is looking out the car like, who there?
What's happening?
So, what's happening to me? So
no, they come and help me.
So she walks up, steps on top of the car with this crazy dress with this gown tosses the thing.
Huge long
tosses
train.
this train down, and the train falls in front of the Baroness.
And it says the pass.
And then she lets out a ribbon, and the ribbon says the pass. Now earlier she had crashed the party and had with some makeup that said the future on her face. So she done linked this the pass scene, and then when it said the pass, and even though the gown, the train of the gown was hanging over the car. This was like one of the most dope things I ever seen. It was like enough peeking out to where the Baroness, you could see the Baroness peeking through the window, happening? Like through the dress, with the banner on the side of the Baroness's face, framing the Baroness's face, saying the pass. I was like, that got it.
It was brilliant. But the one that really got me, oh my God, the real gag one is when she pulled up in a trash truck. Had the trash truck dump it out. You see
Horace is driving the trash truck. Horace is there
are.
for every one of these. Horace and Jasper are running all of these scams.
They're dumping this trash on the red carpet.
They're dumping all the trash on the red carpet. You see these
like thrown away dresses and stuff. And you realize it's like some of the Baroness's dresses.
No, it's the Baroness's dresses. Every dress is one of the Baroness's dresses.
This heifer had stitched these dresses together and made a new gown out of the old dresses.
Out of the pile of the Baroness's dresses that they just dumped out the back of this trash truck. Gets on the back of the trash truck, smacks it, and Horace starts pulling off,
and the train is just flowing in the wind.
That all of those trash dresses
was the Baroness's dresses.
The Baroness's dresses that she turned into a train. So as she's driving away on the back of this trash truck, she's just dragging the Baroness's trash dresses in front of everybody.
Terrible.
It was amazing.
You can never upstage that.
You can never upstage it. She basically told her in front of everyone, "You're trash."
Right.
Trash. Right. And I'm going to make it hotter. As trash than you ever could.
But it doesn't even end there. So Cruella is really committed to this whole character now. Mm-hmm. She's having some issues with Jasper and Horace. They don't like it, but they do what she wants them to do because they love her. They're like her brothers. Yeah. So you're kind of seeing their relationship change from like a brotherly thing to like a henchman. You're my henchman. And
they don't like it. And they tell her about it. Particularly Jasper, but Horace will co-sign.
Right. So, and then Estella, meanwhile, had designed a dress on her free time during her lunch break that the Baroness made her make.
She saw on the cameras that Estelle wasn't sharing all of her design. So snatches the design, is like, this is going to be my new signature piece. This is how we going to shut Cruella down with this new signature collection, and this dress that you didn't want to give me, that you were designing on your free time and your off time, is your personal project. I'm now taking as my signature piece.
And won't give her the credit for it. Says that it's hers. So she orders these really beautiful beads that Estelle hand stitches into the dress. But Cruella decides that, hey, we're going to make them believe that we're trying to steal these dresses, because now Cruella is famous and people know of her, right? So the Baroness gets afraid. She locks all her dresses
and her
in
entire
vault.
signature collection. She locks them in a vault.
So she's supposed to have this whole like fashion show, and she has all these people
with this collection.
Right. So
everybody's waiting.
The lock is malfunctioning because Estelle snuck like a pin or something in the lock. So they have to cut it open. When she cuts it open,
nothing but moths come flying out. Moths everywhere. Everybody's running, but not the Baroness. This stay fabulous. No matter what happens, she gonna be fabulous. So she like this. That's all she did was turn her head to the side as all these moths are leaving the vault. And then the last moth is sitting there. She blows the moth off, looks into the vault. Now she done been cool in the face of all these moths. And what she noticed was
that all of the beads that Estelle had put were actually moth eggs.
Cocoons. Were moth cocoons.
The whole time. Not only is that dress ruined that Estelle created, but all of her gowns.
The entire collection is done. Tattered.
So this pisses the Baroness off. She goes to kill Cruella. She captures Horace and Jasper. She sets their warehouse on fire. She's saved by the butler, who ends up telling Estelle that heirloom that they had a key built inside of it, which unlocked the box that had the birth certificate stating that Estelle was the Baroness's
daughter the whole time.
So this is where all this crazy comes from.
And he tells her that the Baroness is a true narcissist, and when she found out she was pregnant, she was horrified. And the Baron was excited. So she basically tells the butler to kill the baby. He didn't kill the baby, gave her to the sweetest woman on earth, the woman that Cruella would think was her mother. And then Emma Stone gets to have an absolutely brilliant monologue after while being Cruella and being confronted with the fact that this horrible woman, the Baroness, is her birth mother who sanctioned her infanticide, and that the woman who died, that she recognized her mother was the sweetest woman on earth, and it was just
and this monologue is about just coming to terms with who I have to be now in this world. I tried, but I can't be that. I can't be Estella in this world. I have to be Cruella. It's really heart touching.
The acting,
excellent monologue.
The acting, oh my god, oh my god.
Right. So to make a long story short, long movie short. See, this is a long video.
2 hours 15 minutes.
Right. So eventually, Cruella comes back to the Baroness at a party. She comes back as Estelle. They think Cruella's dead because the warehouse burnt down. So she shows up as Estelle to this party. Estelle.
Everybody shows up with hair like Cruella. So it gives Estelle the ability to slip in as Cruella, get into the party, change into the bathroom, but she pokes the Baroness on the way to the bathroom. She pokes the Baroness, and the Baroness is like, ah, and as the Baroness is like, ah, because she pokes her in the ass with this long ass pen, she steals the whistle for the dogs. She goes into the bathroom, dresses up like Estelle, puts the wig on, and then she takes her ass out to the spot where her mother died.
Confronts her. Confronts her.
All of a sudden, the Baroness's dogs start pulling the Baroness to outside. And the reason, nobody knows why, the reason is she can see Estelle out there, and Estelle is out there with the whistle.
Right. So she tells the dogs to sit, and then they confront.
The dogs run up on Estelle.
So the Baroness,
she makes the dogs sit easily, like, no, I bonded with these dogs when we had kidnapped them to get that family heirloom out of Paco's ass. You know what I mean?
So the Baroness and Estelle have a conversation. The Baroness apologizes to Estelle for letting her go. She asks if she can hug her. Estelle's like, "You're not going to push me, are you?" She said, "No, she's so
like,
funny.
If I'd have known you were going to be so brilliant,
she hugs her. She hugs her.
Mistake
she hugs her and pushes her anyway. But everybody sees that it happens. The Baroness is arrested. I'm just trying to move it along. The Baroness is arrested. She's arrested.
Everybody sees
they
it.
Think they think Estelle dies.
The Baroness does not know that everyone is behind her because, her boys, Jasper and Horace, of course, get everyone to come outside on the slick without everybody realizing they're being herded. So everyone witnesses the Baroness push Estelle over this cliff after the Baroness has faked this moment like, oh, you're my daughter, you're so brilliant, of course you're brilliant, you're mine, blah, 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 blah. And the Baroness ends up getting arrested. They finagled the paperwork, Cruella and the butler guy, to where Cruella gets all the inheritance. She gets everything. So Cruella is now dressed up like, ha, I didn't die, standing in front of everyone, watching the Baroness go to jail while the Baroness is like, she's really a step. But she knows it's over for her.
And Cruella had prepared by creating this part of her dress that Estelle was wearing to act as a parachute, so she didn't die.
Yeah. So when she got pushed over the cliff, hey, she's a genius, designer. So she said something about a well-cut skirt, the usefulness of a well-cut skirt. So she had shimmied a parachute up that ass.
Right. So so she survives and she ends up on top. And it was just, it's a great movie.
It really is.
I really loved it. So many great moments. The acting is superb. Yeah. Emma Stone, Emma Thompson, they are amazing.
And now that Estella has been killed in the public eye, it really solidifies the complete transformation of Estelle into Cruella, who she was always supposed to be. But you still see Estelle within Cruella. So while it comes across to me as an alternate universe version of Cruella, there was an end credit scene.
There was. So we got to meet Roger, who was her lawyer, the Baroness's lawyer earlier that got fired because of Cruella. And then we see that Cruella sent a Dalmatian to Roger and to Anita. And guess who those Dalmatians are? Pongo and Perdita. So it just went full circle. It was great.
Yeah, as if we're going to have a full live action 101 Dalmatian sequel. So yeah, it was really cool. I absolutely loved it. There were lots of Joker comparisons, but I will say this. This movie blows the Joker away. I felt bits of the Joker in the design aesthetic. Some people compared it to Harley Quinn. I say it was enough to stand on its own.
Yes.
It felt like, just artistic execution at every level. Set design, fashion, costumes, everything.
It felt like a complete journey for the character, complete total character development. It must have been so much fun for Emma Stone to play this part, to really dive into both sides of this character, to get a full human being, fully fleshed out. Great script. I loved it. If you haven't seen it yet, please be sure to check that out on Disney Plus. It's available now for an additional $30-something. Yeah, you can watch it unlimitedly.
Or if you wait 90 days, it's free.
Or it's free. Or you can.
But we're assuming you've seen it already. If you come here,
that's true. It's a spoiler review, and if you haven't, I'm so sorry.
But thanks, guys. That is our review of Cruella. We really hope that you enjoyed it as much as we did. Like we said, we saw it twice, and we might be watching it a third time.
We got a little dressed up for this video because of this movie.
Black and white, celebrating Cruella.
Right. But guys, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so we can bring you more content. And until next time, bye, guys.
Later.